Man, this is crazy. I love it. We just got another one. We just got another 5-star. Welcome to the U, Jayden Wayne.
You are Locked On Canes, your daily podcast on the Miami Hurricanes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
I am your host, Alex Donno, University of Miami alumnus, longtime South Florida sports radio vet, including pregame and postgame for Miami Hurricanes football. And thank you so much for making Locked On Canes your first listen today. Well, this is probably actually your second listen because this is the second episode we've done today. We're available free wherever you get your podcasts and available free on YouTube. I'm coming to you moments after Jayden Wayne, 5-star edge rusher from Tacoma, Washington, but he's on his way to IMG Academy. So he's going to play his senior season in Florida at the new Miami pipeline because that's what IMG is becoming. He announced he's coming to the University of Miami. And I got to tell you guys, I was worried for a second. He was sitting at that table with all the hats in front of him, and the Miami hat was really poorly positioned. So I'm like, wait, he was holding the microphone with the left hand. The Miami hat was way to his left. It didn't seem like he was going to be able to grab it. He pulled a fast one on us. So Jayden Wayne, he was sitting next to his sister, it's her 16th birthday, and he went out of his way to say, I'm going to do my announcement on July 9th because that's my sister's birthday. That was, I guess, his way of celebrating his birthday with his sister and the whole family. And so instead of Jayden Wayne putting the hat on, he gives his sister a gift. She opens it, and the sister puts on the Canes hat, and that's how Mr. Wayne announced that he's coming to the University of Miami. We are so happy to have him. We're getting so spoiled now as University of Miami football fans. I know that we were kind of bummed about yesterday because we didn't get Jaylen Brown and we didn't get Collins Achampo, who I really, really wanted. But, bros, I told you this. You might take a couple of L's on Friday, and we're going to take a big-time dub on Saturday. And that is exactly what happened. And I love the first thing that Jayden said to Miami fans after he made his announcement. He stuck around for a couple of questions on the CBS Sports HQ feed, and he was asked, tell the fans what type of a player you're getting when you get to Miami. And he said, you're getting a beast. I love it. I want to see him chasing after quarterbacks with the steam coming out of his ears. That's the sort of player that Jayden Wayne is. And this is obviously going to be a boost into Miami's recruiting class. It's only July. A lot of good can still happen even between now and first National Signing Day in December and late National Signing Day in February. After Francis Mauigoa committed last Sunday, you do realize now Miami has landed 2 5-star commits in less than a week. That's how spoiled we are. Mauigoa, or that was actually Monday with Mauigoa. So, yeah, 5 days. 5 days. Mauigoa committed last Monday on the 4th of July. How could I forget the timing of that one? It was Mauigoa Monday, and now it's Jayden Wayne Saturday. This has been an awesome week. It's a great time to be alive, and it's a great time to be a Miami Hurricanes fan. It's great to be a Miami Hurricane. It's great to be a Miami Hurricane. Jayden Wayne is the 30th ranked overall player in the class of 2023. He's the 5th ranked edge rusher in the class. And I think what's really cool about this, now this is a player that wouldn't have really been even on like Miami's radar, at least not for realistic players, if not for the coaching staff change and having Mario Cristobal in place. Mario Cristobal has been recruiting this player since he was in 8th grade. That's how far in advance they saw him coming. In fact, they told the story on the little pre-announcement show on CBS Sports HQ. Not only was Mario Cristobal, when he was at Oregon, recruiting Jayden Wayne when he was still in 8th grade, Oregon, under Mario, was the first school to give him an offer, and it happened right after his 8th grade. I think it was the summer after he finished 8th grade. He got his first offer, and it came from Oregon, and it came from Mario Cristobal. I know that those of us who cover college football and those who cover recruiting even more closely than I do don't pay a whole lot of attention to eighth graders because it's just so far in advance. But Mario Cristobal does, and the great recruiters do. You've heard stories over the years about Nick Saban offering eighth graders because when you spot that talent, you want to like Inception, like Leonardo DiCaprio. You want to get that idea in their head very, very early on. You are wanted by us. We understand your value. We think you're going to be a good one. We understand you won't even announce a commitment for a few years, but we want to give you this offer now so we get right in front of this. And yeah, Mario Cristobal was ahead of the pack with Jayden Wayne, and the recruitment didn't stop. When Cristobal left Oregon for Miami, they only started recruiting Wayne even harder. They had the Pacific Northwest connection. Wayne was over in Tacoma, Cristobal in Oregon. That's, same region, right? You recruit a lot of players out of that region. Not a whole lot of great players in that region. We've gotten a couple, though, because Riley Williams was out of Oregon, the 4-star tight end that Miami landed. And now you bring Mr. Jayden Wayne into this class as well. And this is the second biggest overall player that Miami has landed, second 5-star player that Miami has landed in this class. And he is going to make an incredible impact. We will talk about what Jayden Wayne brings to the table right after we talk about betonline.net. It's your number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. You can find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's NHL playoffs in Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. And BetOnline.net remains the best spot for all of your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Thank you so much for making Locked On Canes your first listen and your second listen today. We're available free wherever you get your podcasts and available free on YouTube. So tremendous get for the defensive line for Miami. Second 5-star commitment in a week. And again, you look at the competition that we see players choosing Miami over. And of course, we haven't gotten everybody. LSU is doing a great job on the recruiting trail. They got Jaylen Brown yesterday, who Miami had wanted. There are a lot of there's a lot of rumors out there when it comes to Jaylen Brown. A lot of people talk, and maybe people know things. I don't know. I don't really feel that comfortable throwing out rumors of like high school drama out there. But there's rumors as to like Jaylen Brown wasn't getting along with certain players that are committed to Miami, and maybe that had something to do with why he chose to go to LSU. I don't know, man. I gave up high school drama after I started watching Saved by the Bell. I don't know what his reasons were for choosing LSU, but Miami moved on. They're going to move on big time at the wide receiver position, and they just landed a 5-star defensive end. But you look at these blue chip players that Cristobal is landing, the schools that they're choosing Miami over. He chooses Miami over the likes of Alabama. And we've had a handful of players now choosing Miami over Bama. He chooses Miami over Georgia, LSU, Michigan State, and Oregon. Those were his other finalists. And his sister puts on the Miami hat, and he's coming to the U. Jayden Wayne, he said it. This is his word, and I co-sign on it. He is a beast. This is an edge rusher who is going to make the lives of opposing quarterbacks a living hell for 3 or 4 years, probably 3, when he gets to the University of Miami. This is going to continue, a good recent line of edge rushers, a couple years removed from Jalen Phillips having a monster season. Greg Russo, those guys both ended up being first-round picks. Jayden Wayne, I think, is as good as either of those guys. I think Jalen Phillips was a slightly higher-ranked recruit. He got off to a slow start in his career, had a lot of injuries at UCLA, transferred to Miami. Jayden Wayne is a monster get. He's got elite size already at 6'5", 245, and he's got the type of frame where he can still add size. It's going to be frightening once this guy gets fully chiseled and fully filled out. He is going to be borderline unblockable. He's very talented, very athletic. He also plays basketball at the high school level, and even just in football, he's been at IMG. I think he's going to focus just on the defensive side of the football for his senior year. But at his high school in Tacoma, was a two-way guy. He was playing wide receiver and defensive end. He's going to focus on defensive end because that's just the position he projects out better as. But he's got good hands for a big fella, and he's got some speed. He's got a lot of burst off the line of scrimmage, really good moves as a pass rusher. He's developing those violent hands that we talked about earlier today in our first episode of the day. But there is definitely an opportunity, to bring this guy on the field, maybe on occasion in the red zone, to get yourself another big time set of hands out there with a big, tall frame. Now, Miami has a room full of gigantic tight ends already, right? I mean, all the tight ends that Miami's recruiting now are 6'5.5", 6'6". They've already got 2 6'6" tight ends in this class. Elijah Arroyo, I think, is around 6'5", maybe bordering on 6'6". He's already in that tight end room. So you've got, and Jaleel Skinner's going to be a monster as well. So Miami's got plenty of tight ends, but if you want to on offense, bring old Jayden Wayne in there to maybe make defenses think twice, 3 times in the red zone. He could maybe catch some touchdowns for you as well. He's a great athlete, great edge rusher, and this is a big one, right? Sometimes you'll see players who get that 5-star label, and you'll debate, is this really a 5-star? Yeah, people were saying that about that wide receiver that Miami didn't land yesterday. Nobody can really debate that with Wayne, except I know this pissed a lot of people off, and I noticed this when I was watching, because I watch all these announcements live on the this one was on the CBS Sports HQ. Sometimes they do them on the 24/7 Sports YouTube channel, but I'm watching the announcement live, and they use this like Fugazi star system for CBS, and the anchor kept referring to Jayden Wayne as a 4-star. And I'm like, I'm throwing things at my computer. I'm like, he's a 5-star. Damn it. He's a 5-star. Oh, why are you referring to him as a 4-star? That was frustrating to me. This is a 5-star player. Okay. So I was a little bit frustrated by that. I was. So if this isn't a 5-star player, I don't know who is, right? And like people like they also that same system that they use, because I think it's somebody was telling me, because when 24/7 Sports, they haven't handed out their 5-stars yet, so even players that are composite 5-stars are still considered 4-star on 24/7 Sports. So like they were saying the same thing about Francis Mauigoa. It's like, if Francis Mauigoa and Jayden Wayne aren't 5-star players, then show me a 5-star player. What is that, an alien? Like, what is a 5-star player if these guys aren't 5-stars? I don't know what a 5-star looks like. So, I don't think there was any malicious intent behind that, but it gets the little hamster wheel in your head turning, because Miami Hurricanes fans, for good reason, going back to the 80s, we all have this us against the world mentality, and everyone's out to get us. Like every college football media member and every part of the establishment, they're all the boogeyman. They're always trying to keep Miami down. That's just the mentality that we have. So people have this conspiracy theory that, wait, so a player is a 5-star as long as they think he's going to go somewhere like Alabama or Ohio State or Georgia or Clemson, then they're a 5-star. But as soon as a player says they're going to go to Miami, suddenly they're a 4-star. Like, people think that they do it on purpose. I'd like to think they don't do it on purpose, but who am I to get in the way of a good conspiracy? Hold on. I'm putting on my tinfoil hat. Who am I to get in the way of a good conspiracy if you guys think that they do this on purpose just to lower Miami's recruiting rankings? I don't know. I don't know if they do it on purpose. I don't know if they do it by accident, but it's just one of those things. So, yeah, Jayden Wayne. And he talked, when he was interviewed post-announcement, he was very complimentary of Mario Cristobal and his staff, and just the work Cristobal has been putting into recruiting him going back to when he was in middle school. He was very complimentary of Jason Taylor. Let's not forget JT, the Hall of Famer, Miami Dolphins legend. Jason Taylor is on the Miami Hurricanes staff. If you don't think that helps recruiting, you're living under a rock if you don't think that helps recruiting, especially for people like Jayden Wayne, who played the very same position that Jason Taylor played. I'm sure Jason Taylor directly and indirectly played a big part in Jayden Wayne choosing Miami. So it's great to have JT on the staff. He's an analyst. I mean, he's not even like a full-time man on the field. He's part of the staff, but he's not like a position coach even. Maybe he will be someday, because I could see Jason trying to rise through those ranks at the college level. I'm sure he'd like to be a professional coach. He'd probably like to be like an NFL defensive line coach or defensive coordinator at some point. So he wants to work through those ranks. But yeah, having JT on this staff, especially with his high school connections in South Florida, the American heritage, it's invaluable to have a guy like that on the staff. So yeah, huge. Jayden Wayne to Miami. He is a beast. Miami's got that pipeline to IMG Academy. Whether you've already been at IMG or you're just transferring in, Cristobal's coming for you, right? Mauigoa, Riley Williams, Jayden Wayne. If you're IMG, you're MIA. If you're IMG, you are going to be 305 bound, my friends. We're taking all of your good players, IMG. Miami Pipeline, let's keep it going. Welcome to the U, Jayden Wayne. Canes fans, enjoy this one, man. Saturday night, I hope you all have a great one. Another 5-star commits to Miami. The class of 2023, I believe, is up to now 13 players. I don't know if okay, so they just okay, and by the way, we're back in the top 10. I'm looking at the 24/7 adjusted rankings now. Miami is 9th overall class. They were number 8 after Mauigoa. They had fallen to number 11. Now we're back in the top 10 at number 9 with the Jayden Wayne commit. So the 13 hard commits, the quote unquote, that's what they call the verbal commits, hard commits. Francis Mauigoa, Jayden Wayne, and these are ranked in order of their like composite rankings. Mauigoa, Jayden Wayne, Jaden Rashada, Riley Williams, Nathaniel Ray Joseph, Robert Stafford, Robbie Washington, Antonio Tripp, Jackson Carver, Reed McKeska, Bobby Washington, Emory Williams, Frankie Tinalau. Heck of a job. And we're only getting started. We're only getting started. And there are other, after Mauigoa, there's other offensive linemen. Miami's hot on the trail for Tommy Kinsler. I think he pushed back his announcement to later this month, I was told, but it's going to happen later this month, more than likely, or it might even be next month, but more than likely Tommy Kinsler, who decommitted from Florida. I still expect he'll probably end up at Miami. Miami's got a shot at Samson Okunlola, a shot at Olaus Alinen from Finland. Who else am I leaving out here? Monroe Freeling is in the mix as well. Man, there's a couple more. Like some these names are just swirling in my head, driving me crazy. We're gonna get all the offensive linemen. We're gonna get all your tackles, all your guards, all your centers. Cristobal is just going to he's like he's like a gigantic planet that just has that. He's like the Death Star with the tractor beam. You remember when they pulled in the Millennium Falcon? Like all these offensive linemen, they are the Millennium Falcon. Just we're on our way to Alderaan. Let's see if we can save Leia's family. What is this? We're stuck in the tractor beam. Mario Cristobal is pulling us into the Miami Death Star. That's what's going on with all these O linemen. We got a great D lineman today, Jayden Wayne. Welcome to the U. We'll talk to you guys. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, definitely Monday. Maybe both days. We'll talk to you again on another episode of Locked On Canes. We are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.